Lead us to your Sybil.
Were they standing right in front of it?
Dibella, guide us.
I don't see it. Hello? I don't dare steal anything other than what I'm here
Lead us to your
to do
Sybil.
is the mission. Lead us to your Sybil. I don't know that word. I guess through context.
Dibella, guide us.
Oh, so I'm just passing through. Is that what's going on here? And the other thing that helped with the sneaking was speed. The slower you moved,
Lead us to your Sybil.
I had a moment there that probably if I kept on moving,
Dibella, guide us.
theoretically. Really wouldn't have slammed those doors that hard. Well, at least no one's in here. I don't remember doing it like this. What I'd like to do is I'd like to knock that drunk over the head with this thing, throw him in the river, feed him to the fishes. Oh, hello. Jesus. That's how these things are. When you're meant to steal something like that, the game is so forgiving. I could possibly run right down the middle of the room here, and they wouldn't even see me. They would look at me and not aggro, and just it would happen. I might even be able to clean this place out, but not necessary. Don't need to take the risk. I'm going to take my time getting out of here. If I don't mind closing the door behind me. This is the way I came in, but both paths lead to the same place. It would have came up there if I went the other way. I unlocked this once already. I'm not supposed to have to unlock it again. Oh, this is where that perk would help. Any lock that you pick, you get a key. It's like wax impression type thing. Oh boy. Okay. might have gone a little bit too far. Still? Oh, not far enough? Easy. Hi. Are they still communing?
I'm sorry, the Temple of Dibella is closed. You can receive your blessing if you wish, but the other sisters are in seclusion.
And you're not going to comment on my nakedness? Nakedness with a bow and arrow. That's silly. Hey, sneak skill. I guess they see it as hiding in shadows, even though we see no shadows in the game. Yeah, well, that's the other thing when they play it pure light, line of sight, the whole concealment thing, weight of your shoes. Something else that I've been saying that I can't remember. Okay, let's put some clothes on like that. Now let's remind these people who they're dealing with. We don't need that. Or that. Oh. Wait. Oh! I'm in trouble. But not really.
Blood and silver, friend. Blood and silver.
Hey, he's calling me friend. That's the best I can get out of that guy. I was gonna have to open a can of whoop ass just to teach him some manners. Dude, that's not you. You're a courier. Nothing?
Nope. Sorry. Nothing.
Be sorry, no news is good news. What happened? Where is this guy? I thought he was going to be waiting for me. Going here. Is he in here? No. He said he was gonna wait right here. Oh, he's not in a... He just came walking out of a building.
Nope. Sorry. Nothing.
There he is. Gotta hang around the middle of town for? Secret business to handle here.
Look at you, begging on the streets. Learn a trade.
Picking on me again, you backbiting Nord? Tired of those prissy nobles turning down your rotten slabs of venison?
How dare you? No one turns down cut meat from Hogni Red Arm.
Hogni Red Arm. More like Hogni Fat Arm. Ohms. I said Ohms, you backbiter. Give a crippled worker a helping hand. Give it to me quickly, before they see us together. You've riled up the priestesses, and the guards don't take kindly to that. Here's your share. Nicely done.
150. $150.
The bloodiest beef in the Reach.
One other reason to hunt giants is, well, their camps, source of charred skeever hide, yeah.
You want a cut of venison or mutton? Well, of course you do.
I know that the skeever hide is part of, oh, is it restore stamina? I remember it as being cure disease. Well, yeah, it does all that stuff, huh? I didn't know it did all that stuff. I knew it did the cure disease. Yeah, not all their camps have the... Well, you know, skeever's like one of the main things they have on those cook spits. This guy's going to continue to talk to me like crap. Hopefully his quest giving days are over, and I can pop him in between the shoulder blades with a fire arrow from on top of one of these heights someday, and no one will be the wiser. And if not, gotta live with it. Yeah, Solstheim. Let's go make sure my game is broke. Where'd it go? There it goes. Souls. Solstheim. Although I bet the H is silent. Matter of fact, I'm quite sure it should be. According to the accent that that guy had, they don't pronounce the H's. What's a good example? If everybody else were to say soul's time, they would say soul's time. Would not pronounce the H. That's how they pronounce those letter sets in that area of the world. Let's go there. Oh boy. Here we go. Can I just go close and then approach? Well, let's just go for it. Sneak up on it. I've had things like this happen to me in other games. And it's solved itself. I gave it enough time, and I let the characters in the area path around, do their thing, let the AI put them through some motions, and over time they eventually went through the right motions to allow the game to work again. Why do I always feel so
Oh,
short?
it's you. Oh, it's you.
Still.
This isn't good. We only got a little ways in when something managed to wake up the Draugr. Before I could blink, all the miners were dead, and I was next in line. Don't think anyone else made it out alive. This is what I get for skimping on labor.
I gave you $1,000. What you do? Put half of it in your pocket?
Well, unless you want to deal with the Draugr, this whole little venture of ours is over. Might be over either way. It looked like a dead end before the place started crawling. We could have missed something, though. I don't know.
Oh,
Any luck?
I wanted to try something that
Any luck?
maybe you didn't try. I'm not even going to talk to him. I'm just going to go right in. This is probably it, huh? The load screen going in is where it dies, I'm willing to bet. There you go. There you go. Kick me right out. Oh, it's going to have a hard time getting in. Yeah. This happens. This will just take some time. Okay. BRB. I'm going to leave it as it is.
You haven't seen Cretius Corellius, have you? That foolish old man's taken my pickaxe again. No, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill pickaxe. I'm talking about an ancient Nordic pickaxe. They don't exactly grow on trees, you know.
Can't you just get the guard to find Cretius?
I prefer to handle these things on my own. Look, if you see Cretius, tell him to give me that pickaxe back, and I'll pay you for the trouble.
Can't get blood from a stone.
Cretius. You know someone called Mirak?
No, wait,
Maybe.
maybe. I don't know how I know that name.
The bellows is backwards. Maybe. Which is it? Yes or no?
I'm not sure.
I gotta let the cat
I don't
out the
want to
door.
talk about this.
Yeah. $75.4. Yeah, it's getting warm in here. Finally. How did you no. What's an ancient Nordic pickaxe?
It's the only tool tough enough to crack Stalrim, is what it is. Not many of those beauties left in the world. Forging them is a lost art. The one Crescius borrowed came from the Skull village up north. I, traded them some goods for it.
I don't know if I can do this anymore.
Is Stalrim a type of ore?
Calling Stalrim an ore is like calling my forge a campfire.
I don't think he ever
Some folks say it's enchanted ice, but I think there's more to it than that.
I assume it's rare.
I don't think I've come across more than a chunk or two in my lifetime, and smithing's my trade. If you're looking to learn more, you should head over to the Skull village. Someone there's bound to know more about it than I do.
Okay, how did you end up in Raven Rock?
A fine question, and the one that I hear most often from visitors to our town. I wish I had a more romantic tale to tell, but I was simply seeking my fortune and chose Raven Rock to ply my trade. Besides, knowing how to repair bone mold armor wasn't very useful in Riften.
I've got a little bit of an idea, Geezer, on that game crash. It's just a slim chance, but it could have something to do with memory size. I've had games do that to me. Especially with mods. If there's too much memory needed that it doesn't have, it crashes like that. It just kicks right out. For example,
You tell Crescius he better give that pickaxe back to me, or else. Find my pickaxe yet?
if
can't get blood from
a
stone.
person,
As it is, we can barely make ends meet.
I'm not sure, whatever takes memory, if you're carrying a lot of goods, if you're wearing a lot of goods, it's very slim. You know, what if you tried going in naked? I've heard people complain of glitches since the latest update. Well, they've been complaining since the game came out with this anniversary edition, and they've been updating a lot of the bugs out. They've been doing a lot of fixes. So I'm just going to leave it alone and see if an update will fix it. You could try to update it. Check local file. I play through Steam, so I could just go in local files, check. It'll check the game files, make sure my digital copy is exactly the way it's supposed to be. They check it to a master, and if it's sometimes these computers drop a couple bits or something and a file gets damaged. Every once in a while I get a game that does that, and they repair the file or replace a file. Usually it just says all files checked normal, something like that. Another fix can sometimes be restarting your computer. Like if you never shut your computer
tell Precious
off,
he better give that pickaxe back to me, or else.
if you, it's odd that we only have one
Find my
mod
pickaxe yet?
in common, but the same crashes.
Glover Mallory's
yeah,
the name.
it's-
If you're looking for a smith, you found one of the best.
It's almost certainly not the mods. You shut yours off
Either
every
you're here to
night.
get showered in sparks, or you're looking for something to buy. Out with it.
I'll often do a restart before I stream, just to get everything back, because I leave mine on a lot, and sometimes they just wander away from where they're supposed to be. Bits get dropped, or whatever internally is happening. It just needs to be rebooted. You know, first thing you do with something electrical when it's broken is just shut it off, turn it back on. And if it has something that boots, you'll let it reboot. Just reboot it. And sometimes a restart isn't enough for my computer. I have to actually shut it off with a switch. Power right off to it. Files will corrupt, yep, unless a real boot is done to correct it. Yeah. And there's one other thing I've come across, Geezer, and that's a tilde command that clears the cache. You know, cache stores frequently used bits of information, and sometimes the cache gets a little corrupted, but the computer keeps using the cache. So you got to clear the cache, and then the good files can come back in. There's a tilde command for that. Guys were telling me that every once in a while they just clear the cache in their game, and it makes it run a little more trustworthy. But you know, that could be happening to all of us, because I haven't cleared my cache in a couple years. A year? But I know I've had that happen with websites. I call them up and say, hey, how come your website's broken? And they say, go into your browser, go to the clear the cache, and boom, it's fixed. Because my computer was using files, corrupted files from the cache. It's something to try.
My husband
It's
Benny
probably
here
not
visitors
that.
with Sean Ravenrock.
It's
I'm
probably
glad to see he was mistaken.
It's probably the instability of the game. It's just probably the instability of the game.
Your visit here will be tolerated as long as you abide by our laws.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'll answer to the Redoran Guard.
We'll have the conversation finally.
I've sworn to keep Councillor Morvain safe, and I intend to take that oath to the grave, if need be.
Why are you so suspicious of visitors?
I have to be. As second councillor, the security of Raven Rock is my primary concern.
Has security been an issue?
This isn't exactly the city of Blacklight. We're on the frontier out here, and we've had more than a fair share of troubles. After all we've been through together, I refuse to let Councillor Morvain down.
Well, Geezer, I'm just repeating what I've heard, but it really sounds plausible. It makes total sense. And as I'm saying that, I'm remembering my brother-in-law is like, he's almost like Einstein when it comes to this stuff. he works in the industry. He's usually the director of IT. He takes computers apart by the transistors piece by piece. He can tear apart a circuit board one little piece at a time and resolder it back together. Read the guy and all the other aspects of computers. He's mentioned the same concept. I find with games many times, bug fixes. Yeah.
Remember, we're your visit here. I'm unsure. I swear I know the name, but I cannot place it.
There's a saying in the industry, the programming industry, for every 10 lines of code you enter, you introduce one error.
As it is, we can barely make
So
ends meet.
if it takes 10 lines of code to fix 2 errors, well, you're going to introduce one more new error. And it's such a true thing that when they changed, NASA changed its airships from those Saturn rocket type rockets to the space shuttle, like a glider, they didn't change the program that, and I'm not saying this quite right. It had something to do with the trajectory after launch and rolling over.
I've sworn to keep
They left-
Councillor Morvain safe, and I intend to take that oath to the grave if need be.
They no longer needed those types of mechanics, but they left them in there because they didn't want to change the program. They knew if they changed the program, they were going to introduce mistakes. Raven Rock is purely a Dunmar settlement? Question?
Raven Rock started out as an imperial settlement, but the Empire decided to abandon it just as my people were first setting foot here. They left the town a shambles, but when House Redoran took over, we turned it around and it became ours. And even if it's been a struggle to make this island livable, we're proud to call it home.
I don't build my PCs. I built one once with heavy supervision with my brother-in-law I was telling you about. I don't feel comfortable doing it anymore. I mean, it's not a big deal to just go out and buy a motherboard, daughter boards, and just plug them all in, read the manual, throw the switches. But it's a lot more. It's a lot more than that.
You can't get blood from a stone.
You can build the computer, but then it's a lot of little software and commands that really knit it together to get the most out of it. The way it was explained to me. DDO has the same problem, mostly due to old code. Yeah, well, they don't like changing old code because they know the more code you introduce, you're going to introduce errors. And a lot of what
Remember,
these guys do nowadays.
Your visit here will be tolerated as long as you abide by our laws.
What is the city
Otherwise,
of
you'll answer
Blacklight?
to the... Your ignorance of our homeland doesn't surprise me. It's the capital of Morrowind. Been that way ever since Mournhold was sacked by the Argonians. I don't visit there often anymore, but we still get the occasional supply ship and visitors from there.
The Argonians invaded Morrowind?
Quite a while ago, yes. They cut a bloody swath across most of the southern region of Morrowind. Nobody seems certain why it happened. An attempted expansion? Revenge for the enslavement of their people? Or perhaps both? Whatever the case may be, thousands of Dunmen needlessly lost their lives, and many more were exiled
Really?
from their homeland.
They're more expensive to build than buy. Well, would you say that again if you were comparing apples to apples? Like, I paid about $3,000 for the components of this computer,
You need to talk some sense.
6 years ago.
Remember, we're
Blood
watching
from a
you.
stone, Noble. As it is, we can barely make
And
ends meet.
I don't
That
know
isn't my
how
problem.
accurate
I was clear when I loaned Garwin the money that I wanted it back
Miserable.
my first harvest.
my
Just
nephew
miserable.
was when he said it.
Oh, I hate this
But he
place.
said, you know, you couldn't buy that computer for, you know, somewhere's between 5 and 10 grand. Say 7 or 8. I don't know. He had a different opinion, but I don't. I don't put a lot of weight. He might have just been kind of talking 6 years ago. 6 years ago. But see, the thing I know is you could not buy my computer. My computer
Why don't you say that even louder, so the
had
entire
some of the
town can hear you
best
reading it?
components in it.
Just give them to me
And
put it on
the
my
way
account.
I've heard it said, these computers that you buy
I said to put it on my account,
have
and that's the end of it.
inferior
Understand?
parts in a certain sense. And they're also not as easily expandable. You know, you get a motherboard that all the slots are used. You get some hard drives that could be almost twice as big for just a little bit more money. They cut corners. You don't get all the bang you could get for your buck. 6 years ago, parts were cheaper. Oh, and good deals could be found. Almost everything was bought on Newegg. Got a pair of, they're considered really old now, I guess. The GeForce 980 Ti classifieds. I got a pair of them. They were $1,200 a piece back then. Now they're up to what? 30s, 20s and 30s. Yes, you also use Newegg. Yeah. So, you know, that was the 10 series. Since then, they've come up with a 20 series, and now they're doing a 30 series. But they haven't made any, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they've made a game that, not that I've know of, since in 6 years, that has more requirements to run the game than what this computer had 6 years ago. Some of the most demanding games that there are out there, my game's playing it at 1080p, 60 frames. Sometimes it'll dip down to 40, but you don't see it. You don't see it. That's that Kingdom Come Deliverance. They say, and I don't know, some people say it's bullshit. Some of these people say, we made this game keeping in mind that there will be future hardware that will be able to run it. Right now, there is not hardware out there that will run this game to its fullest potential. I don't know. Is that market hooey? I don't know. Used to go to Tom's Hardware to find the best build for all price lines. I'm thinking of buying my next one, but I believe in custom build. It just seems right to me.
Your visit here will be tolerated as long as you abide by our laws.
Oh, we had this
Otherwise,
conversation.
you'll answer to the Redoran Guard.
Yeah, I was going to ask PCs.
It's been a few months. I said to put it on my account, and that's the end of it. Understand?
Modin Veleth, Captain of the Redoran Guard, at your service.
But I've said all.
I work for Mogul. You got a problem, you talk to him.
I've been saying for a long time, you don't need a new PC unless you buy new software that needs a new PC. This 6-year-old computer will play every game I have for the next 20 years. Yes, custom builds are great since you can tailor them to your needs. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Oh, you are sending me in there. Okay. Well, and there are so many applications for the computer. Like, we want gaming computers. We don't want just a word processor. We can't just go out and buy a $200 laptop. Like I said, my graphic cards were $1,200 a piece. Paid $3,000 for the components that went into this thing. It was a beast, man. It was a beast. And for the last 6 years, they haven't made a game that this PC couldn't beat the crap out of. Well, I got 3 monitors, and they're not little 32-inch monitors. One of them's you could see the specs on my Twitch homepage. One of them's like a 46-inch TV.
Damn it, woman. I said to leave me be.
Cretius, last time you explored the mine, you
No.
almost fell to your death. I'm not spending the rest of my days as a widow.
And I'm telling you that I'll do whatever it takes to find my great-grandfather's remains. He's down here. I can feel it.
That was almost 2 centuries ago. There may be nothing left to find.
Just let me go, woman.
Cretius, you're an obstinate old fool, and you're going to get yourself killed.
A buddy of mine said a long time ago, he said, you really should not be cheap with your favorite hobby. You know, yeah, you got to make money, yeah, you got to save money, but you also got to find room for joy in your life, and that's your hobby, and don't be cheap about it. Don't sell yourself short. If you're going to spend all this time gaming and playing, spend the money for a good one. You know, enjoy that. Don't just cheap out and have something that's never going to be quite what you want. I believe in spending money sometimes. Never could afford that price point. I always looked for the best budget build under 1K. Yeah. Well, at the time, I was making a lot of money. And we're in good shape, so...
My apologies for Cretius's
Who in the
ravings.
blazes are you? Can't you see I'm busy?
Why is everybody so rude on this planet?
Why should I tell you? I don't even know who you are.
'Cause I'll kick your ass if you don't?
Maybe. Been difficult trusting people lately. They think I'm crazy. But mark my words, these mines hold a secret that could put Raven Rock back on the map.
I'm thinking about getting another computer, but why? Like I said, they haven't made a game in 6 years that has the requirements. This computer still plays. Well, and that's the thing. When you spend that much money, you get that many more years of good, solid use out of it. If I just bought the bottom of the line back then, in corporations, once your computer is 2 years old, they buy you another one. Everybody in the office gets a new computer every 2 years, depending on your office. But the guys I know in aerospace and upper management, stuff like that, every 2 years, new computers, everybody. And you know the fast pace of technology
Sure.
in that
ravings of a crazy
in
old
that
man.
industry.
A secret the East Empire Company swept under the rug 2 centuries ago. It killed my great-grandfather and left Raven Rock with a worthless and tainted mine.
That truism, or whatever it was called, what you'd call it, is no longer. It used to be every 6 months they were doubling certain computing power abilities. There's a name for it, and I forget all that, but that curve finally flattened a little bit. Who was your great-grandfather again?
Gratian Kyrelius. He spent his entire life exploring ancient ruins across Tamriel, and he died in these very mines almost 200 years ago.
Okay, like I care. How did he die?
The East Empire Company called it a terrible accident, claiming that he was lost in a rockfall. But I know better.
Operator error. Always operator error.
My wife and I were cleaning out our home, and we came across some of my great-grandfather's things locked in an old chest. I found an unsent letter he'd written to the East Empire Company, and a key.
What did the letter say?
It describes a discovery that was made in the mine by some of the diggers. They wanted Gratian to take a closer look. The East Empire Company must have felt it was of great value, as they locked that section of the mine off from everyone else.
I'm looking forward to going down there. The key is to the locked section?
It is. Well, I assume it is. I haven't been able to find the entrance.
I can do that. I admit, this does sound suspicious.
Finally, someone who believes me. I'm telling you, there's something big down there. Something that the East Empire Company wanted to hide from everyone.
Why are you telling me all this? Because I'm going down?
Look, my wife nags that I'm too old to go traipsing around these mines chasing my story.
Yeah.
Time's my enemy. It's caught up with me before I could find the answers that I'm looking for.
Yo, brother. So you do need my help.
I do. I want to know what happened to Gratian, and what the East Empire Company is keeping from all of us.
Any idea of where to start?
Gratian kept a journal of notes about his discoveries. If you can find his remains, I'm hoping it will help. Here's everything I have. The letter, the key. Please, do this for me, so I can finally regain the respect that I've lost.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're here for the pickaxe. That's what all this is about. I was just going to say. Are you sure Gratian's death wasn't an accident?
Look, I know I don't have much to go on. I have that unsent letter, and that's really it. But I also have a miner's instinct that's run in my family from before Gratian was even born. I may sound like a crazy old man to you, but I'm telling you, the tunnels here are solid. They would never collapse like that.
And one crazy old man to another. Why were you arguing? I'm in the habit of choosing every dialogue choice in the chance that it furthers the quest. I get more information, it opens another quest, and in some games, the more you talk to these people, the more your speech skill rises. I don't think that's true in this game, though. Why were you arguing?
She thinks that old age has addled my mind, that I'm seeing things when there's nothing to be seen. I realize she cares about me, but she has to understand that I can't rest until I find out what happened to Gratian.
What if she's right and I don't find anything? You gotta be prepared for that.
Then I'll settle down peacefully and never set foot in this mine again.
You'll accept it. Nice.
I've been waiting for this moment for a long time, even before I discovered Gratian's old things. I just hope both of you don't mistake my enthusiasm for insanity.
Glover wants his ancient Nordic pickaxe. No, we don't need to say that. Do you know someone called Mirak?
I recognize the name.
Maybe,
But I don't know how I know it. It sounds so familiar.
Tell me anything you can.
It's so strange. I feel like it's from a dream. Something about the Earthstone and a shrine. That's it. That's all I can think of.
Can we stop talking?
Be careful down there. The mine can be treacherous.
Why you're leading Cretius on, I'll never understand.
I got nothing to say to you.
Try the lower sections of the mine.
This is man
I've never been
business.
able to get that far.
Like an example for spending extra money, I've got a really nice set of headphones. You might be able to go out and get a very inexpensive set of headphones or earbuds or something for 10, 20, 40, I don't know. We don't even need to spend 40. I spent quite a bit more. But the sound is incredible. And same thing with the mic. Oh, you can go out and buy a really cheap mic or spend $100. You don't need to spend $1,500 on a set of headphones. You could, you know, if you were a radio broadcaster or some kind of, you know, something that brought in a lot of money. Oops, it just got dark. Like you can go out and buy a $15 to $25 controller, or you can spend $150. I've had them both. I'll take the $150 Xbox Elite anytime. Anytime. And same thing with keyboards. You can get a $10 keyboard, or $100 to $200. They say you get what you pay for. So there's a lot of truth to that. It's not always true, but oh, I already got it queued up. So hello. Where'd you come from? You came from up there. Did you really come from up there? Or did you come from down there and then go up there and come down? There's a skeleton. My buddy would say a skeleton. Oh, that's where he came from. Maybe. Yeah, I want ore, but it's not giving it to me. But that's not him. I don't see a journal. Maybe. Yeah. I smell spiders. Iron ore. These looks like pleated veins. Hello. snakes. Aha. Sounds like spider. Can't tell. Where? Oh, there's some cobwebs. More and more cobwebs. They smell smoke. Wow. Yeah, hey. Hello, Mr. Spider. Well, get into a little destruction magic here. And it's done. Wow, that was quick. So I progress slower in my one-handed weapons when I'm using destruction magic, using my conjure magic. Once in a while I'll use a two-handed weapon. Once in a while I'll use a fishing pole. Nabbit. I should rebuild my fishing poles so they do more damage. I beat the crap out of an ice wolf today. Whipped him dead. Barely took any damage. And I did it while riding Rudolph. Spit at me, will ya? Wow. Oh, this guy's, he's taking more. He's not dead yet. Ow. I'm gonna fall in. I'm just backing up. I have no idea, barely any idea where I'm going. Yeah, I had a feeling those spiders were dying way too easily. I'd love to get a computer where I got one of those screens that does like 240 hertz. It got at least 4K. I guess now they're doing 8K. Have a good one. It's pumpkin time, midnight. Thanks, Geezer. Always a pleasure. And, oh, you didn't let me know what happened with that. I forgot what it was already. Come to me. Hey, good night and thanks again. 400 damage, 600 damage. I didn't even know those kind of numbers were possible. Holy crap. Oops, wrong hand. Wow, it is midnight. Yeah. Well, it's a tough job, but someone's got to do it. Time to make the donuts, right? Did we just walk? I just walked in a circle. Now I'm really confused. What just happened? Okay. This makes more sense. Going down. Ah. Someone hears me coming. Someone's looking for me. We're here, we're here. I remember a little bit about this. I remember spiders. Ah! What the hell was that? Did I step on a ward? What the hell? How come those spiders didn't trip that ward? They even had a light on. Maybe that's why I didn't see it. I would have seen it glowing. Didn't hurt me that much, though. Okay, now I didn't kill this one. Well, maybe I did when I just set that potential ward. This is what I think it is. We come to a blanked off tunnel that there it is, that we have to like break through. Can be obvious to a lot of gamers, but it could be really easy for someone to just not catch on to that and realize that all you got to do is maybe hit that with an axe or an unrelenting force, magic glyph. That's later. Actually, now my crossbow does 546. Added a ring with fortify archery. Well, I can see how those numbers can. I can see how it can happen like that. That's. And if I get my numbers up that high, then I start kicking up my difficulty. That was pretty simple. I didn't see those magic glyphs glowing on the ground. I just did not see them. Okay. So this is the Forbidden Zone. The big secret lies buried in blood and rubble. East Empire. Wicked corporate monster. Oh, that's right. East India. East India Company pendants. No way. What are the odds? Necklace of disease immunity. Nice. I was catching so many diseases my first 20 or so 20 levels, 15 levels. East Empire pendant.